They said, bro, you never heard of the Black Panther Party? I like, yeah, Forrest Gump. And everybody bust out laughing again. I like, man, what the hell? My roommate, he had a bad past like I had. But if you talk to him now, you couldn't tell. Now he just like a professor right now. He's like a gangster professor, like both in one. Like my 6th week in prison. Like I said, I ain't had time to wild out. So I get to watch the foreign class, and the elder said, "Hey brother, introduce yourself." I stood up. My name Jali. I'm from Newberry. He was like, "Who are you, young brother?" I said, "I'm a goon." And the whole class bust out laughing. Now keep in mind, this class is full of street-based organization members and guys from different religions like Judaism, Christianity, Muslims. Like we all in one class under one brotherhood. We there for one reason, our history, and learn who we are as people, as men, and Jah, and the Rastafarian, in the Rastafarian lifestyle, the way of life they live. We was there to learn it. So that was on the subject about the Chinese Revolution. I paid attention. This was my whole big change. And they went from the Chinese Revolution to a Black Panther Party. And I didn't know who Huey P. Newton was. So I had to raise my hand. I said, "Hey, who is Huey P. Newton?" And everybody bust out laughing again. Now I'm looking stupid, like, what the hell they laughing about? And they was like, "Bro, you never heard of Huey P. Newton?" I'm like, "Nah." "You never heard of Fred Hampton?" I said, "Nah." They said, "Bro, you never heard of the Black Panther Party?" I like, yeah, Forrest Gump. And everybody bust out laughing again. I like, man, what the hell? Then the elder was like, hold on, young brother. We're not gonna break the young brother. We're not gonna make fun of the young brother. We're gonna teach the young brother. We're gonna build the young brother. We're gonna put some jewels in his head so he ain't gotta come back to prison. And the class get quiet again. So now, my mentor, a guy who later became my mentor from the same class, he looked back and said, wait a minute. Have you ever heard of Malcolm X? I think I heard about him from Martin Luther King in school. He was like, damn. You know who Stokely Carmichael is? I said, no, I know who Stokely Carmichael is. Man, for Black history, I know what they taught me in school. And it's like he dropped his head in disappointment. Because he was like, damn, you locked up. And you don't even know your history. Which I didn't know my history at the time. And that's when the light bulb clicked off. I don't know shit. So my big changed. Instead of going back there wild and out, want to stab a motherfucker, nah, I went back there and put every book in my hand that I can get my hands on.